in the list, but you'd be surprised. We actually send our coaches, we call our teachers coaches. So we send our coaches to be trained nationally by that organization for advanced manufacturing and that pathway. We send our coaches to be trained through MSSC, so students can graduate with credentials there. We have a very blossoming health sciences program with a focus on biotech. And so we offer training in that along that pathway too. And then our fourth pathway is college transfer. So about 40% of our students will graduate with a 2-year degree when they graduate from high school. About 2/3 will have at least a year of college credit. And we hope all will complete a local internship with an employer for at least a semester. At the middle grades level, 5th through 8th grade, a core course for us is actually design thinking. So if you have a background in the arts, if you have a background in engineering, you may not even have a background in education at all. In fact, only one of our design thinking coaches right now even has any background or had any background in formal education to be an educator before coming to us. But that's sort of our strength, I think. We offer a year-long induction program for any new staff member, no matter their position. We have quarterly check-ins with me. I'm the CEO. I'm sort of like a superintendent, I guess. And so direct, we're all on a first name basis, direct quarterly meetings with me. We offer a year-long leadership development course. So if individuals are interested in going into, school administration, being a teacher leader, a lot of different pathways, really. We have 360 certifications or assessments offered by Center for Creative Leadership. We have 5 dysfunctions battery. We have DISC training. If you're familiar all with personality, you might be familiar with Myers-Briggs. When we talk about working in teams, which is absolutely what we do here, from the staff all the way to students and parents even, DISC is really important, learning our differences and how we can work together. So we're really a center for innovation and development, not just in the realm of education, but in the broader context of business. So when you come to NEAT, you learn so much that you won't get anywhere else. And whether you decide to stay in education, whether you decide to change roles or to go in a different path, you'll be well prepared to do that. From a salary and benefit standpoint, we're a public school, so you have all the benefit of state retirement, state health insurance. We offer cafeteria benefits on top of that. That includes, life insurance, cancer policies, just all the good stuff, dental. And we offer a lot of opportunities to have one-on-one coaching, both from our own personnel and from organizations like Constructive Learning Design. So lots of opportunities here. And, I said we work in teams, and that's no joke. I mean, our coaches have true decision-making power. So if you decide, we need to take a group of students and on Thursday, we need to completely redo our daily schedule for whatever reason, if we need to go out and about and, go across these 9 counties or beyond for students to really grasp a concept, we do it. We don't ask, what we can't do. We ask how we can do the really cool stuff. So that's kind of us in a nutshell, I guess.
Great. Thank you. Who would like to go next? Okay.
I can go. So with Southern Teachers, since we work with nearly 700 different schools, you would have access to depending on the parameters of your search that you want to set, many different job opportunities. And not only would you have access to those, but with our services, we try to make it as personable as possible. You are assigned a specific placement counselor. You and the placement counselor talk about your search, what you're looking for, the types of environments you'd like, the geographic parameters of your search. So we're more of a resource for your job search. But once we make those connections for you, you have the benefit of having somebody in your corner to help vouch for you. So we can say, if we present you as a candidate to a school, we can say, listen, we've talked to person A, B, and C as a reference for this candidate, and we can really speak to their content knowledge, their work ethic, so you have somebody else in your corner to help you through the job search. And so while the private schools wouldn't be able to offer many of the other benefits that public schools do, like the retirement, the health insurance. The schools do provide benefits in health insurance, but there are other benefits: smaller class sizes, opportunities to coach, leadership opportunities if you stay within the independent school world. With the boarding schools in particular, that they're able to provide board or room and board. So there are a lot of benefits to working with independent schools in general, and we can help you make those connections.
So Mike, I'm wondering with, you mentioned the leadership opportunities, leadership development, is there any sort of through the agency, any sort of structured support for or orientation for new students? I mean, new teachers coming in, or is that really up to each individual school?
That would be something that each individual school does. A lot of our schools are open to having teachers that don't have an education background, and they have those supports for those people trying to break into the world of education, either specifically for internships. Those internships are kind of like student teaching a little bit, where you get paired up with a mentor teacher. Some other schools just have a good, strong support system for new teachers as well. But those specific things would not be something that we do, but the schools themselves.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So we do have several different positions open in the district right now. We currently have 8 sites, and within those 8 sites, we have a position for a lead teacher / principal. We have elementary teacher positions, secondary social studies positions, math positions for secondary, as well as science, and then we have several special education positions open as well. Some of the, sorry, I was reading the chat. Some of the benefits that we do have out here is that we have small class sizes because we have small communities. So each of our communities range in sizes from 25 to about 800 people. All of our sites have pre-K through 12th grade. And in those sites, we have from, I want to say the smallest school we have is 12 students. And the largest school we have is 275 students, and that's K through 12. So within any of your classrooms, you're looking at class sizes from 8 to maybe 14 students at a time. Most of our students are Alaska Native, and they're very rich in culture. So you would submerge yourself into a whole new world, which is a wonderful experience, and you learn so much from the communities. I say going into one of these communities, you're probably learning just as much going in from the local communities as you are bringing in to teach them. So it's definitely an experience. Some of the benefits we have here, we provide teacher housing. There is a small rent associated with that teacher housing, but it's has all your electricity and water, sewer, all of that taken care of within that small amount. We also provide a travel stipend. So we will make sure that you get out here and back home. We are also a Title I, so loan forgiveness after so many years. Retirement, you're invested in your retirement after 5 years. So after being out here for 5 years, whatever you put into that retirement, you get to take with you. We have professional development opportunities. We have professional development reimbursement opportunities. So if you want to continue your education, we have options for that. We definitely want to support our teachers in any way we can. So we definitely promote conferences and any training that you want to pursue. We definitely look into avenues to providing that. I don't know. I think you have to be an adventurous soul to come out, but I think those people that do come out fall in love with it really quick. So if you guys have any specific questions, I would love to answer them.
Well, with your virtual background, it's hard not to fall in love.
Yeah, so this is actually the site out of one of our teacher housings. So this is the beach from the front window out of one of the teacher housings. So yes, it's beautiful out here.
Wow. And so just what is your school? Is it a year-round calendar? What does your school calendar look like compared to the continental US, or is it different?
It is not too much different, but it is a little different. So we do start with a teacher in service in mid-August. We start school at the end of August. For Christmas break or holiday break there, we actually take about 3 to 3.5 weeks so that individuals have enough time to travel home, visit with families, and then have enough time to get back and start that school year again. And then we do end at the end of May.
And I'm just curious, of your teachers that you have, how many come from the continental US? How many are Native Alaskans? And what type of support, I'm just thinking about, that cultural acclimation. Is there professional development and support for folks who do come, say from North Carolina, who may have never been out of North Carolina, to a very different part of the world?
There is. So when new teachers first arrive, we do spend a full day just on culture and how to, I guess, immerse yourself into that community. From there, we offer a class, a semester long, taught by one of our professors here at the university. And they go through and, I guess, pretty much really specifically concentrate on our local communities here. So it's pretty intense, but it's also a great opportunity for students to learn, I guess, the culture and the communities and the people out here. So we do offer that. With the teachers out here, we do have a handful of Yupik homegrown, we call them, teachers out here, but most of our teachers do come from the continental United States.
Great, thank you. Students, I'm going to come back in just a second and ask you if you have any questions that you can share. But before we do that, Seth, I was wondering if you could talk a little bit more in detail about what a semester would look like. If I decided today that I want to apply and go to Dublin because it's St. Patrick's Day and I'm Scotch-Irish descendancy, that's where I want to be for the fall semester or spring 2022. What would that application look like? And then what would the experience look like for me?
Yeah, definitely. So the application, as I mentioned earlier, is a three interview process. So students will start out with an application on our website. That application requires a study abroad advisor approval. So that can't be someone from Career Services. It can't be your academic advisor. It needs to be someone from the study abroad office at App. We have the list in there. We need to make sure that they are aware of your plans to study or intern abroad. You also need to submit an unofficial transcript, and the minimum GPA for the program is a 2.75. We are looking for students that not only meet those minimum application requirements, but take those initiatives to really make that program successful. You have our support throughout the entire program, but we also expect that our interns have a level of initiative there to move forward with the program. You'll also complete an internship interest form, which gives us a whole lot of information about what you're looking to do, your career goals, your professional goals, your cross-cultural goals. All of that is included in that. You'll start with an initial interview with one of our internship coaches. That will go over some basic information. You'll then have a second interview with one of our placement coordinators on site, so Dublin, Udai, interview with my colleague Colin over in Dublin. And then the internship coordinators are actually the ones that are going out and sourcing the placements. So they might say, oh, we have a great placement at a school in Dublin that fits what you're looking to do. Or as I said, we take that individual student approach and look at, okay, what are your interests? Do we need to source a new placement for you? And you'll have a final interview with the host organization supervisor. So whether that's a principal or a department head, whoever that might be that you'd be reporting to. In terms of the options for what your semester might look like, we offer a variable credit option. So you can take anywhere from 3 to 6 credits as an internship. So that's anywhere from 120 hours to 240 hours. So we start at 120 hours for 3 credits, and we go up from there, about 40 additional hours per additional credit. So if you are interning for 6 credits or 240 hours, you're going to be taking 2 additional courses on top of that if you're interning for this semester. If you're doing this summer, 240 hours would be full-time. But during the semester, we don't have a full-time option. You are taking classes alongside it, what we call our study plus internship. In addition to the internship, you are taking a seminar course. This is a discussion-based course that you take alongside the internship to look at the cross-cultural aspects of workplace culture. And how that plays a role, and it actually goes along the NACE competencies. We look at each of those NACE core competencies. You'll complete what's called the skill survey assessment at the conclusion of the program. It's actually worth 25% of your grade. That skill survey is filled out by your supervisor, yourself, and up to 5 colleagues if you want them to fill it out, but it's a great tool, professional development tool. You get career coaching throughout the entire program. There's weekly career coaching and then individual additional sessions if you'd like that. And then we also do several reentry workshops and post-internship workshops for you.
Great, thank you. And students, if a student wanted to do CEA study abroad, and you're not going to do that this summer, they graduate in May, they would just need to contact our international office at the point that they're ready to apply, to basically for the assertion that they left here, and then you'll have our transcript to know they were in good standing.
Yeah, if you've graduated, so here's the little catch. If you're graduating this summer and you're looking for this summer, you've graduated, you're not an App State student, we consider you not in college. And so we don't need that approval. We just need a final transcript. So we need to see that you've graduated and that you received a degree. And then we don't need that piece.
Great.
So for those that are graduating, and I shouldn't say this, it's a loophole, but those that are graduating, you're no longer an App State student at that point. So you are considered an independent student.
Right, thank you. Well, students who are with us, do you have any questions that y'all want to just ask before I keep going with my questions?
I have not thought of one yet.
Okay. All right. Well, since we do have just a few folks who are with us, so and I know Catherine, you and I were chatting about some other things earlier today. You are not graduating in this year, but I was just wondering if folks who are students here with us, if you might share a little bit about, was there any particular employer who is here or organization today that you were most interested in and why?
I'll go ahead. I was like how you explained earlier, I was planning on studying abroad, or I wanted to teach abroad at some point after graduation. And so I was just interested in hearing about these opportunities. And I also didn't know much about charter schools. So I just really came to listen and learn, and then I can help me fuel my decisions for next year.
Thank you. Corey?
So I'm currently teaching in a self-contained classroom, and I found that as long as I'm working with the special needs population, I'm incredibly happy. So I'm just really trying to explore all the different ways that that population in the community can be served through education, because now I understand more of the classroom side, like the traditional classroom self-contained experience. And then I've also been exposed to adults in a residential setting. But I also am kind of, I guess, itching to get out of North Carolina setting. So I'm really branching out, looking elsewhere. But I do understand the importance of not just going before I have a place to go. So I'm really trying to look around. And I was really caught by the title of this meeting. I thought that fit really well.
Thank you for sharing that. Cassie or Meredith, would y'all like to share a little bit about where you are on your journey?
I can share. So I'm special ed as well. And my family is actually moving to Texas in this summer. And I've kind of lived all over. And so I'm kind of ready to leave North Carolina as well and kind of go see what else is out there. So I'm just interested in learning more. So that's why. Yeah.
Great. Thank you. And I'm pretty sure Southern Teachers, y'all have a lot of schools in Texas, don't you, Mike?
Yeah, very much so. I don't know an exact number right off the top of my head, but each of the major cities and even some schools in kind of the not city parts of Texas, we do work with.
Great. Great. And Meredith, are you with us there? Do you want to share?
Yeah, I was just interested in learning about new job opportunities, and I also love traveling internationally. So I was also looking at possibly studying abroad and doing something like that. So I was just interested in what opportunities are out there.
So I have a question for Andrew, and I'm still going to massacre your name. Licia, is that right?
Liesa.
Liesa. And Mike, thinking about, your organizations are a little not, quote, the norm, not the tradition. So could you talk about what maybe some of the challenges are for folks who may take a position with you, or the benefits, the challenges and the benefits, and then maybe they want to transition back into more of a less non-traditional setting. Maybe they want to go back to, I'm going to think, Andrew, where you are, maybe they want to go back and work in Pitt County as a, kind of a traditional classroom teacher, or might go back into the public school setting and they've been in a private school. But what are some ways that your experiences in your schools and your organizations really help, through challenge and opportunity, prepare folks to be successful if they do make a transition later on?
For us, the biggest challenges we've seen with new staff coming in is that you're probably not prepared for this type of environment coming out of wherever you've been, whether it's the teacher education program or maybe a different career area, and so that adjustment to this environment where we do work in teams, we do hold each other accountable. And the expectations are really high, can be quite different. When you know you're going to have visitors to come in and look in your classroom and engage you in conversation, and these individuals probably are going to walk away with an image of our school and ideas of their own when they leave. That can be kind of daunting, especially for a first year or for someone in their first few years of teaching. That may not be the norm to have people in often and kind of be, on camera, if you want to call it that, all the time. So that's a challenge. But we definitely support individuals through that process. And, I don't know that there's necessarily any negative around it. It's just challenging. And when you go back, if you make a transition to a more traditional environment, what some have told us that have done that is, they miss the teaminess, they miss the collaboration, they miss the true decision-making power that they have here versus the other environment. So sort of, readjusting to a more traditional setting takes time as well. But they feel well prepared and generally are able to take things from our school back to those settings to, affect change in those environments. So learn a lot here, and, we're happy to see you grow and see that spread.
Thank you.
All right, so we typically have 2 age groups that come in and teach for us. One of those are the new teachers coming out of college, and the others are teachers that are retiring and looking for more support with their retirement, because we do have such a low investment of time to gain retirement up here. For our new teachers coming in, I think it's ideal because we have small classrooms, we have small schools, and we have ample opportunity for teachers to mentor one another, as well as having the opportunity to work collaboratively with not only their age group, but as a school-wide setting. And so they get a lot of different experiences. Another thing that we typically don't have at all of our schools are like reading specialists. We have itinerants that come in for counseling, for OT, PT. And so often our teachers get experience in those avenues too. They're being supervised by these outside agencies or these outside individuals, and those teachers are supporting those kids in those roles as well. And so they're having a chance to grow in that aspect as well. Oftentimes our new teachers come in and they have the opportunity to teach. We don't get me wrong, we have curriculum that we're following and everything like that, but we definitely want our teachers to explore and use their best techniques and their interests and their strengths to guide their instruction. We've heard a lot with teachers like returning back, I went down there and it was so rigid, we couldn't do anything. Up here, at least we had the opportunity to, teach art and teach music in a way that, was guided by our instruction, not by, the test being given at the end. So I think those are benefits.
Right. Thank you. I'm just curious, you mentioned the teachers who are kind of on the back end of their career and the retirement piece. So is that you accept service from other states or organizations? How does that work?
We don't. So oftentimes when teachers retire down in the lower 48, they still have years in them. So they come up here and they put another 5 years in to get that second retirement pension.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Great. And Mike, obviously, you probably have you do have such a range of schools. But any thoughts there on folks who may decide, not sure I want to stay in the private setting? How well do they transition on the way out?
Are you talking specifically back into the public sphere, or? Since our company works more with the employment, the front end side of things, I can't speak to that directly, but I would suspect that the major hurdle is certification. The majority of the private schools that we work with don't require their teachers to be certified. And so I'm not sure how the certification process works. So I would suspect that would be a hurdle to go from the private schools to the public schools.
Right. But you love to have people who have those certifications. I'm sure that's an advantage for students like coming out of a college of education to be able to work with y'all.
Not necessarily, actually.
Oh, okay.
Really, the things that the private schools we work with are looking for is, strong content knowledge. Do you know what you're talking about? And do you have an enthusiasm and desire to work with young people? And a bachelor's, of course. But those are really the three main things that they're looking for. Certification helps with some schools. Some schools do require that. But the vast majority of the schools and opportunities that we have in our network do not require certification.
Great. Well, I have one more closing question, unless one of our students has a question. No? Okay. So each of our guests who are with us today for your organization, there is an interview process, whether it's to select you to do CEA, study abroad, or an actual employment. So if you could just maybe list the top 2 to 3 attributes that you are looking for when you want to make an offer to a candidate, what would those top 2 or 3 attributes be?
For us, it's really easy. It goes back to our core values. Can they work as a team player? Can they, do they truly have a growth mindset and are really eager to accept feedback and grow? And are they truly passionate about children? So those 3 things. You'd be surprised how many people can't answer those questions yes in education, and we want to make sure we get those from the start.
Right. Well, you have a lot of passion, so I imagine if you don't match that, you set a high standard, I know. So thank you.
All right, so we're just looking for an adventurous soul, someone that's kind of looking outside the box, someone that's eager and willing and wants to take on a challenge, someone that has a passion for kids as well, and as well someone that's willing to grow and accept, I guess, a new culture and environment.
Great, thank you.
So for us, one of the big things I would say is flexibility and adaptability. That's the name of the game in study abroad and interning abroad, especially right now, especially with COVID. Things happen. The plans that you have change. So being flexible and adaptable to those situations is something that we're looking for. We're also looking for students with a strong work ethic and a can-do attitude. It goes a long way to ensuring that your internship is successful.
I'm glad you mentioned work ethic, and you were talking about the NACE career competencies. One thing that really struck me in the meetup that we did this fall with someone in a totally different industry, they said to the students, you're not going to know this job because you're straight out of college, but how do you demonstrate your work ethic? And that is what you've done in your classes, the part-time jobs that you've had, being able to demonstrate that, because when you graduate from college, that often is about the only thing that you really have that you can demonstrate. So that's a great comment. Mike, what about you? What are y'all looking for in terms of those attributes?
I would just say, or echo what I said last round. The schools that we work with are looking for people that are enthusiastic and interested in working with, K through 12 students, and strong content knowledge. Those are the 2 main things that the schools that we work with look for, in addition to a bachelor's degree.
Right, great. And I just want to say, with Southern Teachers, you all do a great job of communicating back to us about, who you hire, where they go. And I think there's some really neat opportunities, not just for folks who want to go directly into an entry-level teaching job, but also school administration. And you hire for all levels. So it could be, some of our students who are here, they are like, kind of curious, but then 5 years in, or like go to Alaska to do that second retirement, which there are a lot worse places, I think, to be. I think it would be beautiful to be there. And I'm very excited that we've had students take advantage of coming. So, well, I want to thank everybody for being here this evening. We had 2 of these back to back. The first one was around charter schools, so that was super informative. And so, Andrew, I know some of the folks here were on that, and like you said, it is a different school setting and have a better understanding. Seth, I hope that you are busier than you know what to do with in about 6 months. With people going abroad. My daughter's study abroad got canceled like everybody else's. And I feel like we are definitely making some progress here in North Carolina with vaccinations anyway, and our students have been pretty phenomenal. But students, I'll look forward to seeing you on Friday. Everyone but Seth will be there on Friday, so you can hop into their Zoom rooms. And as we talked about in the meetup last night, if there's someone that you want to go ahead and connect with, don't wait until your little glimpse of fame on Friday. Go ahead and reach out, email them. And I can, if it's okay with our presenters, which I didn't ask you to put in the chat, but I have all of your emails, I believe. Is it okay if I share that with the folks who are here tonight? Great. And I know y'all have the student information. So thank you very much for being here. And, you know, what is that Irish saying? May the wind, whatever. Have a great evening and have good luck, good Irish luck today. But anyway, I look forward to seeing y'all again on Friday.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks so much. Take care.
Bye-bye.